Bowling Hockey were kind enough to send me one of their new sticks, the Power97 Lilac. Now this is an extreme low bow stick with a very aggressive bend. It's got a maximum bow point of 25mm, 200mm up from the head of the stick. The stick features a touch compound that runs quite high up the stick, so it comes all the way up to the A on the bowling on the front. The stick is 97% carbon with 3% Kevlar, with the stick weighing in at 526 grams with a balance point 39 centimeters up from the head of the stick. This is a really stiff stick. Coming from that high carbon composition, it has an electric feel on the ball. Now this feedback makes it amazing for dribbling. You know the second the ball touches the head of the stick and you can start moving the ball around. This gives you great confidence with carrying the ball even under pressure because you always know when the ball's in contact with the stick. The touch compound on the head is really grippy, so it's fantastic for controlling the ball. It takes all the spin off the ball and it makes trapping the ball, even in wet conditions, really good. And again, combined with that highly responsive feel, it gives you a lot of confidence taking the ball under pressure and knowing that you can keep it under control. Because of the weight and the balance point, the stick is really uniquely set up for dribbling. It's got a balance between having a light head, meaning you can move the ball around quickly, but also having a bit of weight behind it so you don't feel like you're going to get knocked off the ball with any tackle that comes in. Because of the aggressive low bow, it's also fantastic for 3D skills. It's really easy to get under the ball and lift it over a defender's stick confidently, keeping the ball under control the entire time. As I've already mentioned, this stick is really stiff, and because of that, it has an amazing power transfer when you're hitting. You can generate a great deal of power when hitting with this stick. Because of the balance of the stick, it feels like there's a bit of weight behind the head when you're swinging through, and that gives you more confidence in the hitting power. And maybe that's just something that subconsciously you take into effect. Because there's a little bit of weight behind the head, you feel like you can hit the ball harder, and so you swing a little bit harder, and that ties in with the power transfer and the amazing hitting power that it has. The angle of the head does mean it's excellent for shooting. It's very easy to get the ball controllably lifted and fire it into the roof of the net. Because the face angle is aggressive, it is something that you have to pay attention to when you're hitting passes, just making sure that you're getting your hands over the ball so that you're hitting flat and you can still use that amazing hitting power. Because of the small amount of flex in the stick when you're hitting the ball, it always goes straight through the ball and it gives you amazing confidence in the accuracy. You can easily power the ball into the bottom corners or into the top corners if you're shooting at goal. When it comes to hitting on reverse, that stiffness carries through. Because of how rigid the stick is, you get amazing power transfer whenever you hit the ball cleanly with this stick, and you can confidently power the ball into the bottom corners. Because the edge is a little bit thinner, it gives you a great deal of finite control over the height of the ball, but that is a double-edged sword, as it does mean it is easier for you to get under the ball too much and fire it over the top of the goal. With a little bit of practice, I found this stick was really consistent and I was confident taking the ball onto my reverse and shooting from difficult angles or lifting the ball high into the net over an advancing goalkeeper. One thing I also found with this stick was that because of the grippy touch compound and the angle of the face, I found this stick really nice for dribbling, especially throwing the ball onto reverse, the one-handed carry to accelerate away from defenders. It gave me fantastic confidence in being able to throw the ball out onto my reverse and then one-handed carry away from defenders or into space before setting up for a reverse stick shot. So this is an extreme low bow stick. Flicking is what this profile is really made for. Because of the angle of the face, it was very easy to get under the ball, and because of that grippy touch compound, it was very easy once you got the ball onto the head of the stick to have great control over it. So you could confidently flick the ball into the roof of the net, into the top corners, or into the top of the backboard if that's where you wanted to put it. Because of the stiffness of the stick, there wasn't a great deal of flex, so you were just pushing straight through the ball, and because of that, the accuracy was fantastic. Because it is an aggressive low bow, you didn't have to move the ball very far up the stick before you could utilize the bow to generate a great deal of power as well. This stick was really fantastic for flicking with. I've already mentioned it was good for 3D skills as well. But when it came to shooting, I was always confident when flicking the ball at goal with this stick. The stick also gave me a great deal of confidence when I was playing lifted passes. So whether that was a little lifted pass over a defender's stick to a teammate or flicking it a little bit higher into space, I was always confident being able to accurately play the ball in the air with this stick. That also carried into overheads as well. The bow is fantastic for whipping through the ball and generating a great deal of power, allowing you to throw the ball 50-60 meters down the pitch with relative ease. The grippy touch compound on the head meant that you could hold the ball on the head of the stick to maintain accuracy and throw straight through the ball, or you could whip through the ball sideways to put a little bit of spin on it, causing the ball to bounce sharply when it landed. The stick gave me fantastic confidence in throwing overhead passes. I was always sure it was going to land with my teammate or in a space wherever I was wanting to put it. So, as I've already mentioned, this stick is fantastic for flicking, and that goes for drag flicking as well. The touch compound was fantastic for picking the ball up, so even if there was a slight mistrap or spin left on the ball, you're always confident you were going to be able to pick the ball up in stride and keep it moving forward and accelerate it into the drag flick. When it came to the drag phase, it was very easy to manipulate the ball, rolling it up the shaft of the stick into the maximum bow point before whipping back through to generate a great deal of power. Because of the stiffness of the stick, any energy you generated and transferred onto the ball, none of it was lost by the stick flexing, and it also maintained the accuracy. So wherever you push the head of the stick through the ball, that's where it was going to end up. This gave me amazing confidence when flicking with this stick. I was always confident I was going to rocket the ball into a top corner, or if I was going to play a flat pass to a teammate for a deflection, it was going to stay glued to the pitch and they would be confident getting down low to get that deflection past the defence and goalkeeper. Because this stick has such an aggressive bow, it was also really good for generating power late in the drag, because that's when you're accelerating the ball from the maximum bow point to the head of the stick. Because of how aggressive it is, it travels a short distance, but it generates a huge amount of power. Coupled with the white graphics on this stick, maybe adding a little bit of deception, making this stick a nightmare for goalkeepers trying to read the ball. So, in summary, I found this stick fantastic in my time with it. Balling have made a really good powered stick, so it has fantastic stiffness, giving you an electric feel on the ball. It does mean that when the ball comes in hard, you've got to have soft hands, otherwise it is going to bounce off this stick, because it doesn't have that forgiving first touch. But because of that, it gives you amazing hitting power. It gives you a huge confidence when dribbling with the stick, because you always know where the ball is when it's in contact. And the aggressive late bow is fantastic for flicking, especially drag flicking, where you can generate a huge amount of power. And as I say, I don't think the white graphic is specifically designed to add deception to drag flick, but if you're using a white ball, it makes it a little bit more difficult for goalkeepers to read. And the late bow lets you generate a lot of power late on, so for deceptive flicks especially, it's a really good stick for using. I think this is the second balling stick that I've used, and both have been excellent. I would really recommend giving this stick a go if you are looking for an extreme low bow stick, but definitely have a look at their Power97 range. They've almost definitely got a profile that will suit you, and in my opinion, these are fantastic sticks. Thank you very much for watching. If you could support any further by liking the video, subscribing to the channel and sending this to your friends, it does help a massive amount. If you want to support further, you can join the Boss F Hockey Club. You can join for free and just see everything that we've got going on there, but you can also join as a paying member for a small monthly fee. It starts from just £1 a month, or if you'd prefer, you can get some merch. I now have hoodies, I have t-shirts and hats and grips, lots of things that you need for hockey anyway, and it helps me run the channel, helps me do reviews and run more giveaways.